painting was an idea without a form. There's a red dot every place I've lived. I was born there, and then we went to Sausalito, and then Larkspur, and then Folsom up there, boys. And now I live here, and I've lived 3 places on this hill. Well, my name is Hugh Gorman. I'm 70 and proud of it. At 69, I was very afraid. Now I've fully embraced my septuagenarianism. And right immediately next door is where this house was that I first moved into. Hey, a little shit for brains. And the hill, on that hill, everything about it, just I was learning, I was with art-directed people. They had a band, they had good conversations. This was a frontier town. There wasn't anything past you'd go across the river and that was it. And we never wore clothes when we swam, and actually where the hill was, it was all rung by houses, and so the middle was pretty private. And I mean, the girls hardly ever wore tops, and sometimes nothing, and some of the guys as well. And we were just literally free spirits, and especially that fresh air coming up, the girls would sit on the edge and just, let that air come up off the river, and just call them air baths, This is the American River. I always wanted to be a muralist. I love the ideas of murals. I remember in the 3rd grade when they talked about murals, and the teachers looking at me, man, there's this, where you paint really big and tell a story and it goes long, and cover time. Oh yeah, I like that idea, Yeah, that's me. That's what we used to do, and this would be a bottle of beer right back here. Go down the river, just keep it cool the whole way. And I loved being out with the people. I always let people help me on the murals. In Carmichael, I went by all the schools and said, "You bring your class out, and I'll let them paint." And they painted schools of fish. I had 2 colors, and so school kids painting schools of fish. I thought it was pretty cute. Put that down. I hate that word "cute," by the way. But, sorry. That's my buddy. Not you. See, he just lost his tail about a week ago, and so I don't even know how he flies, but he lives on the end of that branch right there. And so this project took quite a while, and so we became pals. So this is pretty close to my original design. I refined it, of course, but I wanted it to blend in. I see this as a metaphor for the American River, which is right over there, and which starts part of it at the Pyramid Peak. And in the morning, you get here for sunrise, there's the tree, and you'll catch the sun down coming up, You can see that snag in the water, go straight up, and you'll see that's Pyramid Peak behind it. So you can stand here and see 300 miles. So this goes from the beginning of a day and the beginning of a year and follows the sun. So on the other end is the end of the day and the end of the year. So this is dawn in January and dusk in December. And right in the middle is noon in June. And then that's that bluff that you just saw with the American River under it. This is the tree. Most people think it's going to fall. To me, it's pretty obvious. If it's going to fall, it would have fallen. I'm taken by the difference between the south and the north of this tree. The south is so abundant and flowing and, loving life, loving the sun. And the north side is all tight and crunchy and, just surviving. It's a real expressive tree. This is the mosaic of that tree. the rocks that are the leaves, I put a covering on top of the rocks and gave them to the kids at school and said, draw something on there, and I'll sandblast it and make it into a an etched piece that'll last forever. I'll show you my favorite one. This is the bridge going across the river. These are the salmon going down the river. This is the sun. This is why it gets so good. He's so high up and he's looking straight down. And just imagine the mind that he's got. And he's on the other, he's past the sun, looking down from on the other side of the sun. That's my favorite one. The process in a mural is wonderful. There were people, there was one lady there was a bus stop next to that mural, and she was stopped there to catch the bus, even though she could have, or she had a closer stop. And she would come over and she would look at it and she would cry. And then also a guy came by and asked me questions about what I was doing, and the next thing I know, the Sacramento County Historical Society says, I want you to come to a meeting. And I come to the meeting and they say, we were so taken with your mural, and there is no category to give you an award, so we've invented one just for you. I'm on the map, literally. They made a map and put me on it. There's Daniel Carmichael here and Hugh Gorman here and their map. And so this would be November. Here's December, dusk, and that's the very end. And I saw the end. I thought of the end as maybe being like the beginning, and maybe we're going to go back to being like the Indians, because they seem to be the only ones that had a lifestyle that was sustainable. So that, or we went so far that's clear back to another beginning. You can see it any way you want.